Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear all presenters in the third Borobudur International Symposium, introduce myself. My name is Eni Suaryanti. Will present the results of our research entitled Community Perceptions of the Implementation of Non-Smoking Villages in Magelang Regency. The author is Eni Suaryanti and Nugroho Agung Prabowo from Faculty of Health, University of Muhammadiyah Magelang, and Faculty of Engineering and University of Muhammadiyah Magelang. Background to the problem. The presence of regulations on controlling tobacco products through local regulation of no smoking areas has not been able to fully reduce the number of smokers and the prevalence of novice smokers. There are still many provinces, cities, and regencies that have not made a government regulation on the control of tobacco products and non-smoking areas, whereas in government of regulation on the number 109 of 212 Article 49 states, in the context of implementing safeguards for materials containing addictive substances in the form of tobacco products for health, the government and local governments are required to implement no smoking area. Regulations on non-smoking areas in the regions are very difficult to enforce because of the many conflicts of interest between local governments and stakeholders such as the cigarette industry. The application of a smoke-free area can be started from the family, village, or village area. For the reason, the study examines the perception of the community if in a village it will be applied about a smoke-free area. Will the villagers accept or reject the regulations that are applied in the village, and what are the obstacles in a village or village implementing the no smoking area regulations? From methods, the study uses a quantitative research method with a descriptive approach as the primary method and qualitative as a supporting methods. In the study, samples were taken from 31 sub-districts in Magelang Regency. The sampling techniques was carried out by proportional random sampling, in which each sub-district was represented according to the total population. About research results. No smoking area or KTR was not understood by all respondents. The data proves that 24% of respondents don't understand the no smoking area or the concept of no smoking village, while the remaining 79% already understand the no smoking area. However, the respondents' data also shows positive conditions, namely most agree with the concept of a no-smoking village, which is 82%, while the remaining 18% disagree. Of the respondents who agree with the concept of a smoke-free area or village, they want the concept to be strengthened by regulations, namely in the form of local regulations. Those who agree to apply regional regulations are 47%, while those who agree with village regulations are 43% and 2% agree with village regulations. The rest did not express their opinion. As for the sanctions expected by respondents, enforcing regulation on non-smoking areas mostly wants sanctions in the form of sanctions in the form of fines. 42%, a number of respondents, namely 28%, want sanctions in the form of social sanctions. 14% of respondents want sanctions in the form of appeals or warnings, while 30 persons want sanctions in the form of administrative sanctions by making a statement letter. There is a interesting thing, namely 3% of respondents proposed strict sanctions in the form of confinement or imprisonment, and 2% wanted sanctions in the form of administrative sanctions by delaying letters related to licensing and population administration. The form of socialization on the implementation of a smoke-free village was asked in the questionnaire, showing that 31% of respondents would be effective if the socialization was done door to door. Meanwhile, the socialization was in the form of 27% KTR enforcement banners, 14% lectures, 13% smoking ban stickers, and 2% warning about the dangers of cigarettes in cigarette packages. As for the personnel or agency that socialize about KTR, respondents expect the health office among 47% to be a suitable agency to carry out socialization. The second position, namely the role of the community leaders by 21%, is also suitable for involvement in the socialization of KTR, in addition to youth organization by 8%, and the role of PKK and the general public is proposed by 3% of respondents. Conclusions. No smoking area or KTR was not understood by all respondents. However, the respondents' data all shows positive conditions, namely agree with the concept of no smoking villages, while the remaining 18% disagree in several. The form of socialization on the implementation of a smoke-free village, showing that respondents would be effective in the socialization was done door to door. As for the personnel or agency that socialize about KTR, respondents expect the health office to be a suitable agency to carry out socialization. The second position, namely the role of community leaders, is also suitable for involvement in the socialization of KTR. In addition to youth organization of the role of PKK and the rage and general public is proposed of respondents. That's my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.